This is for his fans, and I guess especially for Barrett. This is the part of the documentary where she actually climbs, I guess, another peak on the opposite side of Mount Juneau in Alaska. And this is where she points to where he's located, which would be somewhere right around here. And I think that's that's really hard. I had this sense, and I could be wrong, that when she left here, I think she has this sense that maybe she's leaving him behind. Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to show you something. I don't normally do this, but I normally don't go and look for spirits or find spirits, but this one shot at me because Marc-Andre was a very, very high level consciousness entity, and so are you, Barrett. But he's on a playing field that's very 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 rare. Materialistic things meant nothing to him. Money, he didn't have it, didn't care about it. The best things in life come free. He was lucky to have you. You're lucky to have him. He's lived more than 25 years, Barrett, than a million men who live to be 80. He's lived more than all of us. Okay? Well, who am I? I'm Michael. I specialize in entities. I had an experience 7 years ago, roughly, and I saw a star move in the sky from here to there. I was watching it for about 2.5 hours, thinking about my life and reflecting on things. And this is in 2015, April 10th on a Friday night. I got out there around 7, and it moved around to, 9:30, maybe? 9:20, 9:30? So well over 2 hours. And it moved and it stopped. And then once it stopped, I went back to the old site to look at the constellation, and the brightest star was missing. That was a star that I was looking at on and off for hours. And all of a sudden, what acted like a star has now just moved, which is a miracle. It's an act of, you could say, the creator or God. Puts the star over here and then gives me the chance to go back and forth and look to see how that it's not a joke. This really happened. The next night I went out to double check to see if that star would be there again, and I thought it wouldn't be. And it was, and it's been there ever since. So I got a miracle. And that's what it told me, that I'm one of the few people that will be able to see these things once I figure out the reality of where we live and stuff like that. And, so things like this, like a bird flying by, reminds Barrett of him being there. See, the birds have flapping and all types of stuff. And they're not as, they're fast, but not, I mean, can you imagine one going like this from all the way over here? That one's not a bird. It's not a bird. This is the part where Barrett talks about retrieving the body. And she has this distance glare in her. And the distance glare in her is unbelievability, that the bodies have vanished. And she's trying to accept that. And that's very hard to accept. I'm here to tell you they have not vanished. They're just avatars, by the way. Consciousness is fundamental. Barrett, I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but consciousness is everything. It's fundamental. So your pain is his pain. He loves you very much and misses you, but he's in a good place, and he died doing what he loves. Okay, so if there was one place that he would, for him to be okay to be buried in, is something like this. But how you feel and how his mother feels are very important. And of course, it comes to heartbreak. I believe there's probably a sense of you feel like you're leaving him. If you travel around this area and you climb mountains, you'll be, you might think about him and maybe you're leaving him. I'm going to show you something that is very risky, but you mentioned retrieval of the body, and then this part showed up, and I mean, I felt like I have an obligation since I can see these things because I think I'm on a different frequency of consciousness than most people are. And I specialize in these entities. And I get to see things that most people can never see. I look at the small details of things that people always take for granted and they miss, just like Marcus said before. I'm very similar to him in that regard. Shoots over here, goes back this way, and then here it is. And then it turns like a little hiker. You can see like little footprints in the snow. That really can't happen in a video that's been made, like edited 3 years ago or whatever. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. But his consciousness and his very essence of his soul was so unbelievably rare and unique that, the guy didn't even have a cell phone. I mean, what? Like, that's just crazy. That's just totally crazy. So, like, in a nice way. Okay, it's right here. It just flew from here to here. So go back and, rewind it. It's going to come right around here and then turn out this way. But when it comes out of the mountain, you're going to see it where it's like it came underneath the mountain. It's very strange. It's actually kind of like going through the mountain, because everything in this reality that you are living in, Barrett, is simulated. Consciousness is fundamental. Here we go. Turns. There it goes. Stops right where the bodies are. And what are you doing? You're talking about retrieving the bodies. That's what this is about. You started talking about that just before this thing even showed up. So that's Mark's way of throwing out a frequency for somebody to hopefully see or notice or follow or get the message across. You may interpret it any way you want. That's my interpretation. I'm not here to meddle in anyone's affairs. I'm just letting you know that Mark's spirit is still alive. And please don't forget about that. And of course, he loves you very much. And he's just, here he is. This is a piece of him. And because of how special he was, he's allowed to do this. Moving, turning, going. And there it is. See? And this goes as high as all the way up here. It just depends how much you want to focus. And he loves you very much. And Mom loves you too. And I hope this helps. Listen, he's okay there because that he got buried where he loves to, what he loves to do is mountain climbing. So you're not leaving him. Okay? He's in all the mountains. And if it's that important to you where you do want to retrieve it, you can do that too. Whatever makes you both happy is what he's saying. Okay? So he's out there with his soul and his spirit, and he's still doing the mountain climbing. He loves both of you. And he doesn't want you to feel that if you go across the other side of the mountain, you leave. He doesn't want you to feel that you're leaving him because he's always with you. He lives in the walls of your heart. Okay? He lives in the walls of your heart. Most people don't even get chances like this to even create some sort of miracle type spirit that leaves a comet trail of materialization. I mean, if you notice when he comes into the snow, you'll see other pieces of darkness just pop up, and he's not even there at that spot yet. That's a spirit. That's materializing and dematerializing things as time goes on, and he's doing that. And I don't know many birds or anything else that can deter you. So you can actually see. You're seeing Marc-Andre. It's another chance for you to see Marc-Andre. So go ahead and take a look at the video again on the documentary if you have enough, if you feel like doing that, and see this part. Okay, here it is. And then it stops right where it's supposed to. And take a look at it. It's hour 18 minutes and 50 seconds at the end, And it's just the part when you mentioned retrieving the bodies. And little things like this too. Let me just show you another little thing that's pretty cool. Stop. That's where he's at. Now, when you're talking about this, something flies right past your head. Right about. See, you smiled? Something flew right by. Could be a butterfly, could be a leaf, could be whatever. That's him. These are all little things that he's throwing at you, and I recognize all the little details and everything. Okay, so the second you smiled, after that kind of look, and there's a new. That's probably just a leap, but that's him. That's his energy. So every option's still open to you, and don't stress over it, because either way, he's fine. All right, honey?